Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Runers. So, last part, a little bit embarrassing. So to make up for that, we're trying again. I'm just gonna keep trying again, and ideally I would like to make each run every day, like 3 parts. I don't know. I mean, usually I'd like to get Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, but if I can't do that, I might as well just try again. Have the mulligan there, just to show my embarrassment, and have everything else just as a, well, here's what we actually succeeded with. Or we won't succeed at all. Intermediate is a harder difficulty, and I get the feeling that as we go along, there are going to be more failures. But at that point, I might as well just kind of film everything and just be like, well, I failed again. Oh well. Then maybe every once in a while I'll bump down to Wimpy just so I can have like a weird challenge run for the fun of it. Or we'll do a random run, which I guess counts as a weird challenge run. Anyway. So, there's actually a level 1 spell. It's... nuts. I was hoping to actually perfect this room, even though you really don't need to, and I picked up the absolute wrong thing. Well, whatever. Okay. So we get Droplet. Droplet plus Chaos Bolt. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid combo. It's kind of the opposite of what we had last time, where instead of having Strike Through, we got, you know, AoE. But this way we have absolute surety of anything in front of us, shoots fairly fast, and, I mean, does 3 damage per hit. Not quite as much, but at the same time. It's kind of like a halfway there thing. Honestly, if I could have 3 spells on autocast, it would be amazing. That'd actually be a really fun, class ability. You actually, well, I guess there's the one where you just randomly shoot projectiles at, so that kind of counts. I was thinking it'd be really cool if you could have 3 base auto-cast type spells. Like if it gave you an extra storage slot, an extra cast slot, an extra auto-cast slot. Because that'd be kind of cool. Or click slot, I guess, is the better, more official definition. But anyway, we shoot fast, we have AoE, and we do actually have, we do actually have some health runes around. So, kind of make up for the fact that I picked up that one earlier, should still be fine. And I stepped on the brain, which apparently made a weird squidging noise. I didn't realize that it would do that. Anyway, let's just keep going around. We got many of these guys, and the thing about the fire mages is they don't shoot very often, but they do have fairly fast projectile speed, so it's actually very easy for me to get hit by them, purely because I don't get out of the way very well. I really should just murder that guy there. There we go. Covers our escape a little bit. Murder him, take out the brain, and then we're golden. Just gotta not get hit by that yet. It's a deceptively dangerous spell. Not because it's particularly good, but because for some reason my brain just does not handle it that well. Oh well. Honestly, I feel like we're gonna be fine in the end. I have hope for this run, especially because we did actually find a really good base attack spell. It's, I mean, the weird, was it Dark Speed Light that we used last run? That was really good. It had great speed, or great cooldown, great damage, and it had an interesting effect. It could be used to disrupt enemy movements in a weird way. I'm not sure if there's better than it, but it does make a good replacement for Striker. Because the one general flaw about Striker is purely just the fact that Striker does not, it doesn't do that much damage early on. Oh, this is going to be a mess, but, I mean, doesn't matter that much. I'm going to turn off the map and all the auto-casts while we're here. The one problem is the fireballs do actually just kind of spawn on your face. So, someday I'd like to actually, like, really matrix mode it, but there isn't a trait for slowing down time. There isn't a spell for slowing down time. That'd be really cool, actually, if there's a time slow ability. But then again, I'd probably screw it up. I do play Nuclear Throne, and, well, I think I got hit by that. Kinda hard to tell. Should probably prioritize taking out that Fire Mage before the Earth Mages. It's just the Fire Mage has, I don't know, cornered himself? I don't feel like getting hit. Well, he's also next to the Power Shrine, which I'm not happy about. Okay, there we go. He's in the center of the room. I guess it's one of those where it's like, I don't feel comfortable fighting enemies that I can't circle around. Largely because a lot of my dodging involves going clockwise or counterclockwise around the room. In fact, I should probably look it up at some point to see. I think usually my dodging involves going counterclockwise. Weird. Because whenever I'm rotating around enemies or orbiting around enemies to dodge their shots and, you know, just kind of lead them around, I'm usually going in a counterclockwise position, counterclockwise rotation, which, wonder what happens if I go the other way. Well, it's not going to make any difference in this room. And, okay, floor does go on. I was afraid for a second that this is going to be like an ultra tiny floor, which would have been a problem. But it's not, which is good. Also, does not look like there's a hermit in here. Now, I haven't been using my class ability all that much, and I feel like I should. Yep, that's a lot of Chaos Bolt. I want to actually lure these guys around and hit them from a distance, or at least get around them. Ow! Because the one problem is they're using Chaos Bolt pretty much pure and simple. Let's just use art cast ability. Okay, there we go. We've taken out all but one. Glad the class ability was the one I picked up. Last run, what did we have? That wasn't Bard, we were something else. Oh, right. We were Dervish. And as much as I like the idea of the Dervish, especially in higher difficulties, the use of it generally requires you to be close to an enemy, which is terrible. Whereas with this one, it's everything either on screen or on the level. And both work for me. Okay, it's just rats, no hermit. That's pretty good. But, yeah, this one is probably better, especially for higher difficulty type runs. I'd say the invincibility one is probably the best, but at the same time, hello, what do we get? Class specialization, great wisdom, static skin, quick learner. So I'm going to go with quick learner. The more traits we get, the better off we're going to be, especially if I can get the health increasing one, because, well, I had it last run, and we were doing great, and then I kind of screwed it all up. But let's just keep going. I think for that one there wasn't enough health. I can't even remember. I think I'd run out of health pickups on the 3rd floor. Yeah, because floor 2 had plenty. Floor 3 did not. And interestingly enough, it seems kind of random how you get, like, how health drops are determined. Sometimes, I mean, go figure, it's RNG, but sometimes it feels like certain runs are weighted to just have an insane amount of health drops, and certain runs aren't. So in this case, we got, what, maybe 3 this entire level, maybe 4? And part of it is, you know, my fault for picking up the ones I shouldn't have. But at the same time, it feels like it was less, which is potentially scary. But oh well. Well, it's too late for crying over spilled milk, and I'm not terribly injured. I'm just going to have to be a little bit more careful as we go along. Now we need another light rune and a dark rune, and then I can... Okay, so what do we got? Entropy, speed, earth. This is kind of a bad setup here, because rune levels, especially when we don't have any idea what we're doing, is not useful. I went with entropy just in case, because if I can get prismatic devil, it ends up just being a really solid spell, because it keeps everything off of me, and more so the buffs are nice. But it also makes it so our chaos bolt is even more accurate, which is the most useful thing right now. Plus, we have 1 speed rune, and no earth rune, so it did kind of end up just being one factor of like, well, what's the one thing that I can actually gain a benefit from right now? Oh, looks like we're getting some extra hearts here. So that's at least nice. And yet again, I seem to be dodging in a counterclockwise rotation. It's weird. I should stop that. I guess sometimes I go clockwise. This doesn't feel terribly unnatural to me. For a second I was afraid that I had some kind of like weird aversion to going clockwise around enemies. I'll take a magic missile to the back. Oh well, looks like there's at least 1 health pickup over there. Which is good. Because, I mean, I'm going to have to pick it up immediately just so I can get my health further and it's not wasted, so I have no remorse for doing so. But I would actually like to have a stockpile, you know. Okay, so we've got a bunch of gas clouds, and they don't do damage to you, but they do push you around. And with a bunch of crawlers on the ground, probably best not to be pushed. So I could go with... Oh, I'm not going to pick up that health. I could actually go with double Chaos Bolt, but that seems dumb. It would have some interesting effects. It would do a lot of damage, because it fires, I believe, far faster than Droplet. Though also it looks like Droplet is messing with the... Uh-oh. It looks like Droplet is messing with the cast speed of Chaos Bolt, so it could actually be very viable, because the thing is, if you double up on the same spell... This is rough. If you double up on the same spell, I'm trying to avoid a couple of entropy mages, because they do lots of damage. Okay, at the very least, hearts. Oh, yeah, there we go. RNG has decided to bless my my actions here. Okay, there we go. And we have several more hearts. So this room was good to us. I really don't understand how this game handles its heart distribution. But anyway, we are not getting the runes that we got last episode. Last episode, at this point, our inventory is half full, if not more. I'm just going to pick up that one. And that gives us 3 hearts left over. Nope, looks like we got bandit in this corner and a lot of slimes, which is a serious problem. Alternatively, not. I'm taking damage here. And the problem is we have clearing potential, but it's not good. And we've also been running into a lot of cramped levels, which is frustrating. Okay, so we get a shock, we get fire. And health pickup, which is great. I think this guy's going to give me a double combiner. Or a rune. Neither, really. Usually +1 enemies have loot for you, and the answer is not today. Interestingly enough. Anyway, let's grab both and the health and keep going. So I could make, what can I make? I got shock, I got fire, I got water. Because I would like to actually make some good spells here. And so creatable spells. Discovered. What do we got at the very bottom? So we can make Brittle Boulder, Caltrops, Seismic Stomp, Hot Feet, Assurance, Fusion, Remnants, Traveler, Tase. Right, Assurance was that one, so that's not good. Hot Feet, which, Hot Feet is different from Blazing Path, I believe. And Hot Feet, I think, was the worst one, because this one's, it actually spreads to, like, nearby enemies, but it's not as good. Fusion is great, but I just used it, even if it didn't actually work well. Traveler is cool, but again, not exactly what we need. So, currently, I would say I don't actually have anything good. I could go with, double lightning. It is tempting. I'm going to. Largely because as much as I like Chaos Bolt, it's just not, it's not performing up to par right now. And what we need, what I really need is something strong and frontward pointing that does a fair amount of damage. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot Droplet is actually, Droplet has a longer global cooldown or something? Yeah, it does. So these two have a much shorter cooldown, so I can use Chaos Bolt and double lightning, and then I can use Droplet as a basic attack. Or not, actually, because the two of them are enough that they have too fast of an attack speed. I can't actually use Droplet. Well, whatever. I'll probably switch out Chaos Bolt later, or figure something else out. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, this does solve a lot of our problems, because it does a lot more damage. I'm going to keep that shock running around and not put it into a combo, because, yes, I could buff it, but it's not, I mean, it does make quite the difference, but it's not going to be enough of one to make a true difference. So let's turn off Chaos Bolt for a second. I need Droplet for the range. Actually seems to be working fairly well. It really does gimp the attack speed. Okay, it really does gimp the attack speed on our double lightning. Man, that is something I'm going to have to get used to. I guess it's one of those where I never really paid attention to it earlier, and it's actually very substantial. So, note to self, go for things with the shortest possible global cooldown. Actually makes quite the difference. Which, I mean, go figure, but it's one of those where you just don't think about it until it actually matters. The problem is these have such a fast cooldown that it's almost impossible to queue spells. Hey! Arena. This works for me. Oh, and level 1 Crawler spawns right on my ass. Now it's level 1 Burrower. So, again, between Double Lightning and Chaos Bolt, we pretty much have our bases covered for everything in front of us, which is actually really convenient. +3 Bandit. Gotta worry about his daggers a little bit. Fortunately, I don't want to get too close to him because his little arrows actually do damage. I don't like taking damage. Hurts. Come on. Let's just... There we go. Another level 2 Burrower. I don't know why, but whenever I'm in a situation in Runers where it's like, yeah, you could take a fair amount of damage here, my nose or my kneecaps or something starts itching, and it's just like, this is not fun. Okay, so we could go with Water, Air, Crit Defense, or Max HP. I'm going to go with Max HP. And, oh dear, I'm going to go with Doctor. I'd love Scavenger. Get us more runes. But at the same time, I would very much love to live more than anything else. So we've got a bandit over there. Let's actually curse them. Murder the bandits. if possible, because I don't want... Oh, he's stuck, interestingly enough. But yeah, no, Doctor, double, triple, quadruple Doctor. I think it was only triple Doctor the last time. But that really did push us towards victory, because it's very hard to make a comeback when the health packs only heal you a small amount. And if I can actually get more Doctor perks, then we're going to be in a really good position. If I can't, well, even just having one helps substantially, because I believe Doctor boosts the healing from 10 to, well, let's see, I don't actually know what a health pack heals. It could heal 10, you know, a tenth of your health. Or more likely it heals like 15 or something like that, which, either way, 3 health is pretty substantial. It's 3% of your health. That's the first double combiner I've seen this entire run. Weird. Alright, so we got a couple of destructibles. Doubt we're going to pick up anything useful from it. Let's just keep going around. Let's go the other direction. I'm trying to go clockwise, counterclockwise, but this game does not... okay. Gotta watch out for the twin mages. They're jerks. Probably more jerks than the bats themselves, but at the same time, they do actually seem to have some kind of weird aversion to shooting at a distance. Luckily, we do actually have a lot of health packs now, and they bump us pretty much up to full. Gotta make sure I don't pick them up, though. Freaking bat doesn't want to die. There we go. And there's another double combiner. So maybe we can make triples soon. Love to have a triple spell in our bar shortly. There's Earth. I think... Oh, and there was a health pickup. Oh well. We only have like one room left anyway. So if I can clear that one, unfortunately it's a very long way around. At least there's a couple of health packs nearby, so I don't have to backtrack too hard. So I guess picking up that one was not that big of a deal. So as long as it's not something hideously unfortunate that I run into, then we're going to be fine, go down to level 3. And as much as I prefer to come up with new and interesting combos, we're not being given the necessary Dark Rune to complete the long range thing. Because if I could have that in conjunction with double lightning, that would put us in a really good position. Oh geez, that's a pair of hermits. That's scary. Let's just curse them down, pick up some health that we probably should have waited on. Get another mind rune, but this build is not dependent on mind runes unlike yesterday. So I can take out the hermit and then brutalize the rats. There we go. And we actually, okay, we're almost there to a quad. And I did pick up 2 health packs there that I didn't need to. In the end, doesn't matter that much. Yeah, uh-oh. There we go, got him. I don't know what he had on him, but I got him. So, we need dark runes, actually. Usually that's rare. I generally don't actually, or I try not to use dark runes, because they have some nice debuffs, but the problem ends up being sheerly they're, like, I guess the problem I have with a lot of games is debuffs require time. And in this game, time is a luxury I almost never have. Like, you can't really play the long game in this game, you just end up getting whooped. So, like, large area of effect debuffs that help kill enemies quickly, yeah, sure, that's useful. But everything else, not so much so. Let's go with damage. So, we need another mind rune, and we're going to be able to get mindlessness. And yes, I know I use it so frequently, but it's not exactly a linchpin so much as just a very nice additive. Because it does mean I don't need to pile any runes into anything else. Of course, there's our first entropy. Oh wait, no, second entropy of the day. And if I can get that, like, dark launcher type ability, I forget what it's called, but if I can get that one, then it's going to be our single target, like, far away type thing, which is nice. Ooh, arena. Like that. I'm gonna keep my butt away from the center just because it does generally spawn enemies right on my face. Let's just kind of stand in front of it. Fortunately, it's got a lot of health, and my accuracy is awful right now. Like, my double lightning kind of seems to be just avoiding hitting him. Oh well, that's what Chaos Bolt is for. Let's just wall up the burrowers. Yeah, they're definitely taking less damage than I'd like them to. Oh, this slime is... Interesting how the slimes work, because the ow, ow, ow. Okay, so Molten Light's kind of a problem. They actually do damage. They're faster than everything else. Maybe not as... well, okay. So, we could do defense or crit. Both are pretty useful right now. I'm actually gonna go with defense. Because if I can kind of maximize my bit, if I can maximize it so I take a lot less damage, and I have a couple of doctor perks, it's more or less going to make me tough. And as much as I'd like the crit, not taking damage seems more important. This room kind of sucked. Glad there was a couple of health pickups, because that was really, really rough. For largely no reason. So anyway, we can do toughen. I was talking about armor and stuff, but that's... I'm gonna go with that one. Shooting off more particles seems like a smart idea. Because we already shoot very fast. Like, it's one of the really nice benefits that we've got going on here. But, if, oh, hey, there's the boss. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let's go back down here. I'm gonna clear out another room. This one over here. Hopefully not take too much damage. Hopefully not take any... Oh, balls. Freaking wind hunters. And unfortunately, what we have are two very great at clearing out groups of enemy type spells. And I'm really praying that we get that dark rune along the way. If not, I'm gonna have to figure out probably bum rushing the boss. I don't know, it's one of those where it's like I'm afraid of... Oh, hey, our inventory is full. And I don't have enough for a triple. I'm close. I guess it's one of those where I'm trying to decide, do I fight the boss? Or do I... I'm going to have to fight the boss. I probably would have actually been better off going in earlier, but oh well, doesn't matter. So we're going to fight the boss, Nimbrus. Well, that makes things interesting. Let's quickly go into the Runedex. So there's actually a spell I want to see if I can make. And I poo-pooed it earlier, but if I can make it now, Fortify. Okay, there we go. So we have Fortify going. Because the thing is, you can't hurt Nimbrus. And so, I want to know... I mean, what we're going to have to do is... Oh, there we go. Oh, shoot. I already wasted it. I was thinking it'd be good. Yeah, no, never mind. It's not worth it. I was thinking it would be great if I could do the earth stuff in conjunction. Unfortunately, we do not have a good way of taking out all the pushmons from a distance, so there's a potential that I'm going to get knocked around. And since we've got autocast on, Fortify is going to largely be worthless, but at the very least, between Double Lightning and Chaos Bolt, we are actually pretty good at knocking away all the little guys. And unless I do something particularly horrifying here, I should have enough health to deal with a couple of bounces. The problem was I was thinking, it's like, oh, it'd be great to use Fortify, so the moment I do get bounced, I can just immediately pop it and take far less damage. But I forget. You can't do that. You need to be attacking. You just can't attack the boss for once. So, yeah, that strategy's out the window, and dumb. I guess the other thing I could make is Supernova. Yeah. It's not bad. And while I was using it a little while ago, it's going to make all of this substantially easier. Come on, leave me alone, freaking pushmons. Yeah, but this is going to be kind of our, oh shit, that's a lot of pushmon type thing. And this is probably, this is probably a good point, use for it. Unfortunately, the great amount of spells that we've got going on kind of prevent us from doing it. So I'm actually going to slow things down a little bit and use Droplet, because it does actually do a fair amount of damage. It gives me a little bit more accuracy in terms of everything, but most of all, it gives me range. It's pretty good at taking out pushmons, actually. Got about 10 seconds more on... We got 10 seconds more on... I'm going to have to turn on Chaos Bolt for this one. Chaos Bolt actually might even be better, because the pushmons don't have a whole lot of health. Ow, that hurts. Okay. Let's just take them all out. Where is he? Oh, he's all the way over here. Well, probably should have held on to Supernova for a second then. I guess I can also use my class ability, which is probably going to get very necessary in a couple of seconds. Okay. I used it. It didn't matter. Ow. This is rough. I was expecting that we do a lot better against Nimbus, but the problem is we just don't have the range-based clearing potential of taking out all the Pushmon purely because our accuracy sucks. Because, you know, normally we can just kite around everything, but the problem is you can't exactly do that if you're trying to stay on top of the boss. At least we got 3 seconds to Supernova. I'm going to back off for a second. Actually, hold on to him first. There we go. I'm going to... every time I do it, it just doesn't work out for me. Freaking his lightning at this point hurts real bad. All of this hurts real bad. Okay, well, either way. We're going to get 2 health pickups, so we're going to have a triple combiner. And I can figure things out. So we could do Wild Burst, which is tempting. Arcane Guardian, not so much so. Battle Hardened. So this gives us more damage. I'm going to go with it. We need more firepower. And, okay, good. There are 2 hearts in here. Okay, and I'm going to save the 2 Mind Runes, because they're useful. Runedex, creatable, undiscovered. Oh, that's a fair amount. So I want to use Shock, Fire, and Entropy. Shock, Light, Entropy, or no. Fire, Light, Entropy. Wouldn't be bad. Fire, Shock, Speed. I guess, what can I make with Shock, considering I'm not currently using it? Fire, Shock, Speed, Fire, Shock, Mind. Shock, Light, Light. Huh. Okay. I'm just trying to think, because it's probably best that I use it in conjunction with runes that I have many of. And at this point, we don't need speed anymore, so that's actually probably a priority. So, Shock, Fire, Speed. Shock, Fire, Speed. What's it make? Pike Hey, there's that pike spell that people use. So in that case, it's got a long-ish cooldown, but it is actually a decent melee type spell. I could see that getting buffed up by stuff. So let's quickly look at this. Actually, nah, I don't need to buff that right now. Okay, so let's close out of this menu, and let's go back. I think it's a... I don't actually remember. I think it's an air rune left over in the other room. And so now we got Supernova, which, yes, is overused a little bit, but at the same time, apart from the bouncy water spell, which uses shock, it's probably the best ultimate you can get your hands on. Also, now our global cooldown seem to be fine. Weird. Alright, well, no big deal. I need to take out those necromancers, though, otherwise they're just going to keep making little necros. And that's not appreciated, because they do a lot of damage. When they really shouldn't. It's mostly just based on volume, which, go figure, that's my strategy. I guess I'm just a territorial little person. So, we've cleared this floor. We don't have to worry about as much. Can I... what the... Oh. Freaking... slowed down or something. Yep. Okay, so... first and foremost, the problem with those axes. Can't use them in... you can't use them close range. Frustratingly enough. Okay, well, we didn't take too much damage, and there are more health pickups here. I'm very glad I have that doctor perk. Would love it if there was, like, an actual healing spell in this game, but that would make it incredibly powerful. Okay. Oh, shoot, that was our speed rune that we needed. Oh, because we used the other one on Fortify, and you can't... I really, really wish... Oh, right. Well, we got that going for us. So we are definitely running into some issues purely because we're using double lightning. And I guess the question is, you know, should I not use double lightning in the future? Keep it in mind and just try and go with spells that work well with it. Because the problem is, I can't actually use Supernova while I'm using double lightning and everything else. It just doesn't work. I like the idea of the axe spell more than the actual execution. I think the reality of this situation is it's best if used. It's best if you... Oh, wait. Does it have a really high? No, it doesn't. It's a Seeker Bullet or something. I was wondering if it had a really high AoE. So, the axe is cool, but ultimately not... It's not my jam. I can see it for a weapons type build, but the obvious problem is... Oh, geez. Oh, it's the Necromancers. See if I can nuke them from a distance before all the Necroskeletons show up. There we go. Because we are taking damage. We're taking dumb damage. At the very least, we get another heart. Maybe 2. Nope, another double combiner. That actually gives us a triple. Oh, thank you. Okay, Doctor level 2. Oh, and we do actually have another health pickup back behind. Wonder why I didn't pick it up earlier. But first and foremost, let's make that triple. So, no speed, but we do have shock and fire. So, Runedex, creatable spells, shock. I got a triple. Oh yeah, undiscovered. Because honestly, shock is one of my favorites. So we could do earth, shock, entropy. I'm trying to pick this. Oh, right. I can make it so it's damage. And projectile? Okay. Fire, earth, shock. There we go. Fire, earth, shock. That was completely wrong. Current. Oh. Hey, it's that one. So it's got a long cooldown. Does a fair amount of damage. Maybe. But it's also got an anti-damage debuff. Alright, that's cooler than that. I'm gonna get rid of Pike Dance. It's an interesting spell, but it doesn't fit with our build right now. So, current, speed, duration, knockback. It's an interesting spell. I wonder how it's gonna work. And it's got a short global cooldown, so I might actually be able to use it in conjunction with everything else. I'm hoping. Because it seems like kind of a fun spell. Can I use it? Oh, right. I guess the real question is, can I use it in conjunction with both Chaos Bolt and Double Lightning? I guess, this will tell me. The answer is no. Oh boy. There we go. Let's get out of the way before we get hit by any more of those. Oh, jeez. Intermediate mode. It's kind of super terrifying. I'm gonna pick up the health and then GTFO. Okay, thank you so much. So, next up, we got that. Holy crap, that's actually a really good spell. So, obviously, the duration is a serious problem, but we're getting it. Oh, interesting. We killed the level 2 mud golem, which is very, very much appreciated. Note to self, don't take too much damage here. Also, note to self, necroskeletons kind of suck. Okay. No health, though. So, in the interest of not dying, I'm actually going to have to take the long way around. So, okay, first and foremost, Fire, Earth, Entropy, was it? No, Fire, Earth, Shock. That's actually a really good spell, because as far as I can tell, that's not 6 damage across the entire thing. That's 6 damage per bullet, which is really intense. And actually, you know, gives me a lot of hope for this run in interesting ways. I think, actually, at this point, I hate to do this, just because it does actually gimp Double Lightning, but let's make Mindlessness, because we need the damage boost on things. Okay, there we go. And goodbye Fortify, you're not useful. Okay, none of these can be buffed by anything we have currently in our inventory. And I could make Dark Wind, but I don't have room for it on my build right now. The only thing that I need, really, is a speed rune, because if I can get that, that gives us the ability to... Oh, right, I might as well get Droplet running. But that would give us the ability to have a really nice long-range, high-damage spell. There is the base level question about a lot of other things, but... Okay, wow, that wrecks. Okay, let's pick up the much-needed health. Keep our distance for a second. Yeah. Okay, this is going to give us the Force Global cooldown that we need just to survive. Okay, and we get more Dark Runes. This level is the level that never ends. Please give me health. Nope. Well, either way. Droplet plus Double Lightning. It's a fair amount of damage, fair amount of distance. So I can... that is amazing. It's kind of like a very short burst equivalent of having a really high, or decently high damage spell. Enemies do a lot more damage. On speedsters specifically, shit, they hurt. Gotta avoid them, like, possibly more than everything else. I'm just gonna salvo off in that direction. Okay, well, this is not actually the last level of the floor, room of the floor, jeez. It's not being forthcoming with health. Because getting those doctor perks may have scared it off. So I'm actually going to have to wait a little bit here. As much as I would like to, we are dearly injured. Or gravely injured. Man, the staircase is all the way on the other end. I would have hated to fight the boss at this health level, though. That would have probably killed me. Unless we get lucky here. But, I don't know. I'm maybe a bit of a pessimist. Anyway, so I'm going to pop Mindlessness, then Supernova. Let's see who we're fighting. Perfect! Well, that may have been a bad idea. Those are a lot of burrowers, that's a lot of sandstorms. Well, just have to abide. I guess benefit is gives me an insanely good situation to use that left bumper ability. And that's... Oh, does it have duration attached to it? I hope so. Maybe not, though. I'm just gonna use it, because, yeah, that is a really good spell. Note to self, use that a hell of a lot more often. Because, I mean, the unfortunate part is, again, it does have a long cooldown, but that can be reduced. It can be reduced fairly nicely. Ah, nuts. He went underground just as I was going in for the kill. Well, I guess I'll just deal with him the slow way. No health. Interestingly enough, was not actually the last room on the floor. Well, in 7 seconds I'll go in. A little bit more, actually, because what I want to do is maximize everything so we don't get hurt too much. Because if I can pick up, like, 1 or 2 hearts in the next room, we're going to be in a golden position. If I can't... Oh, hey. Well, that works for us. Might as well supernova. Shit. We're going down to floor 4 with barely any health, which, of course, provides some interesting problems. But, you know what? Instead of forcing you guys to sit through the entire long process of getting there, I'll actually see you guys on the next part of this run, where we will hopefully survive through some miracle of doctoring, because I do have double doctor, and that hopefully will save my life. Seriously though, this game needs like a shortcut key. Oh, you've completed the level. You can leave. That would be so nice. So, as I was saying, I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.